first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. We get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start on the ground. Carter. And some room to roam now. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, this is their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well.
And now off to the races, down the right side, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he is going to dive to the turf. Boy, a strange return there. And they're going to start with really terrible field position. Well, the Buffalo offense ready to bring out their high-powered attack. And at the center of it all, of course, the rocket arm man in his 5th year out of Wyoming, Josh Allen.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
The numbers a week ago for Cook. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Allen to Diggs there for a Buffalo first. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Allen now on first down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To the air, Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 23. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a short gain here down to the 22. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Cook. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 14. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Cook up the gut. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work, and then someone catch them in the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
Gonna look deep for Wilson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. James Cook, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from drawing level. An extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 7. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really...
2nd quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it 2nd down and 12. Here's Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick 6. So dealing with this deficit here, we'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Wilson getting right back to it after the pick 6. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. First carry for James Conner. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. There's Wilson to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
Alert!
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Allen. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Play action. Now it's Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Week 9 here in the National Football League. We'll have 9 weeks to go after this. We got a couple of good matchups in prime time to wrap up the first half of the season. Tonight, Tennessee and KC in the AFC. And then tomorrow night, an interconference matchup. Baltimore and New Orleans from the Superdome. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Holding offense.
They get the USC man, Elijah Vera Tucker. Here's Wilson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
James Cook and the Buffalo offense returning to work now. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe after.
He's got a man complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. 75 yards. And the Bills are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. And New York set to take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Down inside the 10, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and the Bills are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Now Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
4 yards on the pickup.
From the 16, Allen. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Time to watch Elijah Moore get back to work as the Jets offense returns to the field. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, like good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, trying to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. And he's got the hook up to Moore. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On first down, Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. So past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game, we skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And he is going to dive to the turf. Boy, a strange return there. And they're going to start with really terrible field position. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that?
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, and even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here are the Bills to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they're on the heels of that nice win last week over the Packers. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. yards on the ground for him so far.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Getting the ball is Cook, running left. And he's got room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
On second down, Cook. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Allen going to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A big play there. 42 yards. And the Bills extend their lead yet again. The extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Brought down at the 18-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Gregory Rousseau picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's the Jets punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taking on the midfield logo. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
guy, what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Here's Cook again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Left side, Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That's running the ball well, but with with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. 3 quarters have come and gone. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Running for it. Here's Cook. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down, and the Jets are going to get the football back. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 16. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And now here is another interception. Tariq Woolen picks it, and he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. And New York set to take the field. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Alert!
Throwing to start the drive. Allen, he's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Holding. Offense.
This is unbelievable.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now Allen. He's going to try and go deep again. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL. It's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Throwing is Allen on third. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Stephon Diggs. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs. 87 yards. And the Bills are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The Jets on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Gregory Rousseau able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And New York set to take the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close.
And, my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. Here's Bass now for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
To try again after the sack. Wilson, he's going to let it fly. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. But they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last two drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Now Cook running right. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. A give left side to Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Allen. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Time for another drive here for this Jets offense. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Taken in left side, it's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do